Hey there, this is Dr. Pam Perry. So, someone's birthday today, or I would say maybe it's an anniversary. Had to talk. I don't know whether it's a birthday or anniversary, but someone is 60 years old. So, the Washington Informer, one of the largest and one of the oldest African American owned and operated newspapers, is 60 today. And we have the publisher that is with us, Denise Rolark Barnes, and she is with us today to talk about. We're going to talk about the Black press, and you know that I love the Black press. I'm a journalism uh, person my entire career, publicist now, published Speakers Magazine, and so I always have this affinity for Black press and especially an affinity for Black women that are doing it. And Denise is doing that. We're going to talk about where Black press is today. A lot of people kind of say, oh, well, Black newspapers aren't really needed today. I would say they're probably needed more than they were when they first started in 1964. So I'm going to bring her up right after this.
Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there. Oh, so first of all, Denise, congratulations. Any business that makes it to 60 years deserves a round of applause, but definitely a newspaper in today's TikTok world definitely deserves a round of applause. So, your dad started this in 1964 on this particular date,
That's
October
right.
16th. So that was why I was like, Denise, I got to have you on. I got to have you on. And you were like, okay, okay. I was like, because when I saw you last year at Speak Sell Shine, I said, I want to be a part of your 60th. I said, that's a big deal. And so, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Well, it's been a good day. I mean, I've gotten the whole staff has been celebrating in a very sort of mild way. But, we both are, all of us, I don't mean we both, but we are all kind of, it's funny. Someone will call me and tell me how many years they've been with us. And, this is my 8th year, this is my 22nd year, this is my, and, I don't think about that like I should. I should be recognizing these folks on their anniversaries, but it's like today. We're getting ready for next week's paper. I had a lot of things I had to do today. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is our anniversary. Someone sent us some roses. I was really appreciative of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but, I'm just, I have to take in the fact that, we have, when I think back over the years and some of the, what we've come through
And what
as a
you covered.
newspaper,
Hmm.
what we've covered. And, it's just, I don't even know if I have an answer for that, Pam. I don't know how I feel. I just feel like, this is the treadmill that I'm on and I can't stop.
Well, I remember you told me a story that at one point in time you were like, you know what? This is what my dad did. And I don't know if I'm even going to work in this newspaper because it was kind of like the family business. And you were like, I don't know if I'm going to do it. So, what made the turn or the shift? Because so give us a little bit of your background, where you went to school and what you thought you were going to be doing. And then where the shift came, where you joined the family business and became the publisher.
Well, I have to say, I joined the family business at age 9.
Right,
So,
right.
so and it was my summer job every summer because my mom and dad were divorced. And so I would spend the summers when my father remarried with my stepmother, who helped him establish the Washington Informer.
Mhm.
So when I would go with them in the summers, I went to work with them every day. And she was a lawyer, and her office was, in one room, and the newspaper office was in 2 other rooms. And, I had work to do the whole summer. And so, I went on and I decided I wanted to take up her profession, which was law. And went on and went to Howard Hampton and then the Howard undergrad, majored in political science, and then changed it to mass media because I'm like, there's something about this journalism thing that I really like.
Mhm.
Went on to law school and wasn't real fond of law school, but ended up being the editor of Howard University's law school newspaper. And so it was there where I really realized that, this thing called journalism and this print newspaper business, as they often said, it was the ink that ran through my veins that
Yes.
convinced me to say to my dad, okay, I got a cush job waiting for me over at the Federal Communications Commission, but I'm
Mm.
going to come work for you for a little while and, see where it goes. And then I'll go pursue my law degree. I mean, my law career. Um,
How
and
long did that little
I've
while
been here, huh?
how long did that little while last?
44 years. I'm still here. I
That is
am
so
still
good.
here.
That is so good. So Sharon Morton, who is the president and founder of Black Door Society, you met her last year at Speak Sell Shine as well
Yes,
in the DMV area. And she's in the green room too as well. She says, "Happy anniversary, Washington Informer." That
I
is a big
appreciate that.
deal.
Thank you.
That is a
Thank
big
you.
deal. So you are actually streaming on the Black Door Society. A lot of them are from the Washington D.C. area, so they just love the paper. They love you, love what you stand for, love the excellence that you all do all the time that you put out. And, Sharon, thank you for joining us over there in Facebook. But one of the things, so think about it in 1964, because I'm from Detroit, so I'm not in the DC area, but in
That's where my mother's from.
okay, see,
Yeah.
okay, so it's oh, it was a lot of turmoil going on in the '60s, all
Same.
right?
Yeah.
There were riots,
As well.
everything, and for your dad to say he's going to do a newspaper with the, vision to say, "We're going to, right some of the wrongs," he's going to do his social justice through really spreading information, and like you said, there's something to this journalism. So what was it that drew you in terms of uh, the journalism world? Was it telling the stories? Because being a lawyer, you're all about justice and you want to fight for what's right. I find that a lot of those two things marry together. So tell us how you use maybe your journalism in your law or the law brain in journalism. Because you've got to
So,
be
yeah,
but
I think there are a couple of things, and there's a piece of that I think, your um, colleagues would maybe appreciate. But I really love the storytelling. I really love the storytelling. And once I really got into the history of the Black press, why it was established, who some of the former publishers were, Frederick Douglass,
Mhm.
Ida B. Wells. I mean,
Yes.
those are the names that we know, but there's so, 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 so many more. And every day I learn about new folks who, or new names of people who came through that. And also the social justice part, because like you said, there was so much going on when he started the paper, but
Mhm.
then there were sort of the return of things like, the anniversaries of the March on Washington, the Million Man
Yes.
March. I mean, so many things were going
Yes.
on. Dr. Dorothy Height, was of course, still living and with the National Council of Negro Women and the Black Family Reunion and all the things that were happening. And this allowed me to be in the place and the space of a lot of these people and provided me with the opportunity to talk to them and interview them. But I
Mhm.
think the other part to that was probably something that ran in my father's, blood that maybe runs in yours and so many others. It was the independence, you
Mhm.
know. Um, I didn't learn how to become a boss per se, but I understood what it meant to run a business and to
Mhm.
work with people and to to hire folks and to know when maybe this is not working. And I read a lot of books on business management and all that kind of stuff so that I could build a team, because that's what I had to do. I always say too, the fact that I played sports,
Ah,
as a kid growing up, and
so
it's
about the
very
teamwork.
athletic. Yeah, it's like, how
Mhm.
do you build a team?
Mhm.
And I find people that were involved in team sports seem to have, a certain kind of knack for working with folks even during hard times. So,
Mhm.
all of that was part of what drove me to stay where I was.
Mhm. Rob YB met you last year as well at the press club. He was part of the Speak Sell Shine, and he said, "Happy birthday, Denise." So
Thank
it's
you.
like I didn't know whether we say happy birthday, happy anniversary. So
Well, I
we,
got one of those coming too. So,
yeah. So 60 years is a big deal. So
yeah.
YB, thank you for the shout out with Denise because she said something too that she loves storytelling, and I told her that I had a book that I bought at the airport in Nashville that I let Kelsey Russell, who they call the princess on TikTok. She's a Gen Y,
Okay.
and she loves reading newspapers, and so she
Yeah.
wants
Oh,
to have
wow.
you
Okay.
and talk to you, but she has the book that I gave her. It was women, African American women publishers, pioneers,
Right.
pioneering women, publishers, and I think it was Dr. Claudette Perry, or I can't, I know her last name was Perry, and she was from Nashville. And so I opened up the book. You were in there as one of the women publishers, but how many African American women publishers of newspapers are there roughly? I know
I wish
NMPA
I
has like, was it 200 or so newspapers? And that,
newspapers, right.
yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had known you were going to ask that question before because I would have given you a hard and fast number. But I would say that
And I don't have the book because I could have just counted it, but I let
yeah,
Kelsey
yeah,
borrow it.
yeah. And Miss Perry is one of our, senior publishers out of
Nashville.
Memphis. Well, is
Mhm.
it Nashville or Memphis? But
Well,
anyway,
I was
she's one
in,
of our publishers there.
okay.
And, we were very, very happy that she decided to put this book together to recognize those of us who were rarely recognized,
Mhm. That's true.
in the publishing business.
That's
So I
true.
would say of the 200 NMPA members, probably if maybe half of us
Oh,
are
okay.
women.
Okay.
There are a lot of us, and every
Yeah.
day there are new ones.
Okay.
I
And I
don't know
know
if you
Karen,
all know that, if you know that Simone, on MSNBC,
yeah,
Simone,
the political commentator, I can't
right,
think of her name.
her
Yeah.
mom owns a newspaper.
Oh my goodness.
Yep,
Yeah.
she's a publisher, and, as a matter of fact, we just got news the other day that they're turning she bought the paper, but they're turning and I wish I could tell you the city it's in, I feel bad that I can't, but, they're turning her, building into a museum. Her former publisher, the person that she got the paper from was a woman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. That is legacy right there.
yeah,
And that's what Black Door Society is about. It's an organization that really tries to open doors of opportunity and leaving legacy. And so it's one of the things that Sharon Morton, who's on with us, just kind of tells us that that's what we need to do. Dr. Angela Harden Max, she's a medical doctor out of Detroit. She says, "Congratulations, this is a phenomenal accomplishment." And then I have a colleague here, Lyra. She came to Black Door Society event as well. She says, "Happy anniversary, the Washington Informer." She's a publicist in the DMV area.
thank
So
you.
we as publicists appreciate you. We know how hard it is. We know what work you all do, the staffing. A lot of times you don't have a big staff like a daily or, that kind of thing. You're doing the copy editing, you're doing the sales, you're doing the distribution, you're doing the online, the IT, uh, HR, which is probably a whole nother thing, finding the stories, pitching and sorting the stories. You probably can't, like we were talking at the press club last year, you get so many emails. It's like I can't answer everything. But the sections of the newspaper are set up in such a way where if someone wants to religion, business, those kind of things, you have all those different sections and you want the community to be involved. You're a storyteller. Because one
Exactly,
of the things you said is that the women publishers in NMPA or the Black Newspaper Publishers Association that you would love to do a book about their stories. So Lyris is on as a publicist, and Sharon, maybe us as media people, we can help tell the stories of all the Black women publishers and we can put that together for you,
That
as
would be
our
phenomenal.
legacy
Okay.
gift to you, because it's
Yeah,
hard to stop to write about yourself. But
right.
we can actually, maybe Sharon or Lyris, we can all, and even YB, we can interview you and then put that together as a book. We're in that world of chat GPT, so maybe we can interview everyone and then have that delivered to you as the 100 or plus so women that are the publishers, the Black publishers. That is huge. I know there's Karen that is out of Houston,
That's
I
right. Karen
believe.
Carter uh,
Richards.
Richards. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So
And
she's there as
Sally
well.
Childs, and yeah, and the journey, the road the roads we took that got us here.
Hmm.
And the stories about community and family. I mean, I keep thinking I should call Mr. Perry down there in Atlanta and say, look, I got a sequel for you. I got a
Yes,
story that
yes,
would be a great story on Black women publishers. um,
yeah.
just what we've gone through, but a lot of us are second generation, third
Mhm.
generation.
Third
And
generation.
yeah,
Wow,
and
that's good. That is
and
good.
and we're all at that point, Pam, where we're trying to figure out what the succession plan is.
Yeah.
You
The
know,
black press is should say, but what is it that is changing in the industry, and then also to our you know, seeds or our children underneath us, do they want to do this? And sometimes it's like, you know what, I don't see that I want to do that. Kind of like the way you were. It's like, I think I'll come back and go to law school. But they have more options, I think, than any other generation I've ever seen. I mean, they
yeah.
are doing like their own businesses at college. So it is something where the black press has to decide, like, who can. What I don't want to happen is what happened to BET, where a white company would come in and just buy like the whole conglomerates of like NNPA, and then there's no legacy, right? So
Right,
like
right.
you want to keep it, and I want you all to keep it in our community,
Hmm.
but we have to support you, and we have to subscribe, do advertising, whatever we need to do to keep you all viable in our community. So
Exactly.
that's kind of like where I talk about it all the time when I see publicists that um, always, where we're trying to pitch you, but then I also say, but we besides pitching you, we also need to support you. And
Hmm.
so as much as we can, if we have clients, this is okay. We can run a story as well, but if it's a large client, but you also should probably sponsor a special section or do an advertising or do banner ads, whatever it is. But it's like that's our job to make sure that you all stay viable. That's
One
one
of
of
the one of the things I'm trying to I'm trying to think this through a little bit, but on the digital side, we all are trying to build audiences. And so, we think about it. We write stories about so many people. And thanks to you all, you open those doors for us, and we're proud to sit down and do interviews or stories with folks that you bring our way. And it's funny because, we're still dealing with this white man's ice is colder. So when that story is done, if it's, one of the mainstream, I hate to use that word, but everybody understands what I say when I mean it, what I mean when I say it.
general market.
Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. I'm going to say, I guess
General
I'll say
market.
that. Yeah, that's better. How those stories get shared, right? How
Mhm.
they are put out there. Whereas our stories don't get shared, right? So
Mm.
people have audiences, companies have audiences, they have, email addresses that go all over the place. And even if one would say, send those stories out to their email or link us, to some of those emails, addresses, some of their clients, push that out,
Mhm.
because it opens the door for us now to attract new readers.
Yes.
I
That's
think
so
about
true.
the fact that we do a daily newsletter. We have about 9,000 subscribers to our newsletter. But when I think about the fact that there are, maybe 150, 200,000 Black folks in DC. That's a drop in the bucket.
It is.
right?
9,000 is a large for an email list, but in terms of how many people are in the DC area, that is a drop in the bucket.
Really? I mean, at this point, as long as we've been doing this, and you figure we might get an average of maybe, and we're pushing, we're trying to do more on the digital side. That's why I love
Mhm.
my print newspaper. I'm so glad we still put it out
I love
because
print.
that's what makes the money,
I
right?
love print too, period. I just love, like, print, things. Just
Yeah, and I'm glad you're still doing it. You got a website presence, you got Facebook, you've got all of that, but
Mhm,
people still want to be able to read something, put it down, come back, read it, share it, that sort of thing. But because a lot of advertising has moved to, the
mhm,
digital side, we're trying to see where that's going to take us. But it
mhm,
means that we have to ask, and we're learning to ask, people to support us by sharing our news and content. Just
mhm,
share it and tell people, look, I read the Informer. You should read the Informer. This is the
yeah,
link. Go to it. Share it with them and tell them, look, I signed up. I get the email newsletter every single day because we
yes.
send one out every day,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
with a lot of other good stuff. So
Sharing is important, or when someone is featured, I would like to, and Lyris knows that we say this all the time too, that, put that link at the bottom of your email signature, share it obviously in social media, make a meme with it, make a TikTok with it, whatever you need to, but share the content. If you got the
yes,
story, some people will even make a plaque with it. And they'll frame it, and it's like in their hall of fame, in their office type of thing, so I want people to understand that if it is like a general market, yeah, that's fine. But the targeted market of your area, your community is probably more of a bigger deal. It's a bigger deal because and you look at the history of why it started, and they're employing people within our community. I mean, so we're trying to build our community. That's what
oh
Black
yeah,
Society does. It's like we're trying to
hmm,
open doors of opportunity, and so you
exactly,
you can't just like just say, "Oh, okay. Well, I don't want," if I ask someone, I say, "Well, I want to be on, I don't know, whatever show." So I just say if it's Sherry Shepherd, Jennifer Hudson, and Tamron Hall, they all happen to be Black women, but they don't own the show,
right.
right? They don't own the show. Black newspapers are owned. It's their own media. It's
Oh
it's one
yeah,
of the things. It's one of the things I like about Roland Martin. He owns his show.
oh yeah, yeah.
It's something about ownership where you will then have the freedom to say the things that you need to say.
Hmm.
Sharon says to you, Denise, she says, Denise is a legend and a blessing in her community. And she says she has done and continues to do what he says, I thank her for all she has done, all she continues to do. That tell her I'm sister Brenda Muhammad's daughter, and
She always
Tyrone
tells me when I see her, I don't remember her.
Yes,
And
and
I've
Tyrone
run
Parker's niece, and that way she'll remember me. We'll charge it to your head and not your her,
and
okay?
she's
That's
such
it.
she's a beautiful, beautiful woman as well. And I mean, and tall and stately and all of that. And I've run into a couple people with that are what should I say that look similar. And I'm thinking, is that Laris?
Oh,
But
yeah,
thank you. I really
yeah,
appreciate
so
that. Oh, is
this
that
is
her on the cover?
this is
Yes.
Sharon, this is
Oh, that's
Sharon,
your one. Yes,
that's
yes.
Sharon,
Okay.
yes, 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 that was the
Good,
one where she
good.
said, but it is one of the things too that I wanna say that when we have, so say for instance we're a publicist and we have a client and they want to get coverage, and maybe they are a subject matter expert in, I don't know, career, planning or career leadership, and you can cover it, but you have a small staff, and we always try to tell our clients that it might be better maybe if you write the story and do it, pin it as a column and pitch the column. If it's good, which we would make sure that it is good, they would then have an opportunity to have a byline in your newspaper. Do you do that a lot, or do people ask you to do that often, or are they just like, just write the story, do it for me, that kind of thing?
No, I think we're doing a better job of telling stories through, on our side.
Hmm.
If it's something, I mean, I just say call us some pitches. And if it looks like, we don't, we as I told you folks, told the folks last year. I mean, we got to know what the pitch is. What is the angle? What's
Mhm.
it relevant to? Know a little bit about our publication.
Yes.
We just did a financial literacy issue last week. We're about to do we do 4 health supplements or special issues a month. These are printed issues. We do things on home ownership.
Mm.
Um, what is it? Sustainability.
Oh, yeah, energy.
So
Mhm. Did you get
those,
an
and
award
we,
today?
huh?
Did you get an award today? The
Yes,
energy.
Ron, yes, yes, and Ron accepted it. Yes, we did.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
You
thank you,
you're
thank you.
just
We're
like Sharon
probably
said, she's such a legend, but she's so humble about all of this, right? Yeah, 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 I did get an award today.
no. Well, we were one of the first out of the block as far as Black newspapers were concerned that focused on sustainability and the environment.
Mhm.
We do a special issue every April for Earth Day.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was because I recognized the fact that, Black folks have been involved in this environmental movement since forever, you know, and we don't get the recognition that we should get for the contributions that we're making to that.
Mhm.
And so we've started that special section, but we try to do something every week on that.
Wow.
So, we're looking for stories. We're always looking for stories.
Mhm.
Um, and if it's something that we think, well, this might be better suited for the person who's pitching the story to write it, we'll talk about that. But,
Mhm.
don't think that we have to do that to get your story in, and now
Okay.
we have so many different, we do like you do on Fridays, we have
Your
Let's
show.
Talk on Win TV. So we have our show. So we put people there, then we make stories out of that interview.
Okay.
Um,
Oh,
you know,
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're finding all kinds of ways to make sure that we can do our job as journalists because we want to do that.
Mhm.
So,
Talk
uh,
about Word in Black and how that came about. We're
oh,
kind of
thank you.
wrapping up here. Yeah, because Word in Black, I get that as well, and I supported when you all first started doing it, so I was like,
Right,
jump in
right.
on it. But tell them
Yeah.
about Word in Black.
So, George Floyd, after the murder of George Floyd, a funder reached out to the publisher, a woman, of the Amsterdam News in New York.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
they said, we want to do something. We feel like we need, everybody, all the fund foundations wanted to do something.
Yeah, they should have
So,
been doing something
yeah,
anyway.
right.
Mhm.
So, he said, but we want to do something to support Black journalism, to support Black newspapers. So they pulled together a group of 5 publishers. There were 5 of us. And then finally we added 5 more. And when you
Wow.
talk about the oldest, we're the baby of the group
You're the
because
baby?
we're the
Yeah.
baby. The Afro is 130
10.
something, I
Is this
forget. Yeah.
okay.
And the
Mhm.
Amsterdam News is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
And a couple of the other papers are like
The Pittsburgh?
95. Hmm?
Was it the Pittsburgh in there?
Pittsburgh Courier is not a part of Word and Black.
Okay.
But,
The
uh,
Real Times Media Group is
Real
part of it.
Times Media Group, more really the Michigan Chronicle, the Atlanta Voice, um,
Mhm.
um, the Houston Defender,
Yes. Yes, that's what hearing.
St. Louis American. Um,
That's the one
uh,
paper I have not seen. That's the only one I've not had physically seen, the St. Louis American.
it's
So,
one of the best in the country. Yeah, it's one of the best. And so we all got together, which is unknown or unheard of among Black newspaper publishers. We don't always collaborate.
right, not on the editorial. We'll
Right.
collaborate maybe on the advertising or something like that so we can go after some bigger pieces of pie. But the editorial side that you all collaborated.
Yeah. So this is a business, and it really, we have a relationship with the local media association and the local
Mhm.
media foundation. So they really, white folks give money to white folks. What can I say?
Mhm.
Even if it's for the benefit of Black folks. And
Mhm.
so we've been pretty successful with this Word in Black collaboration. We established a website. We have a staff
What's the
of
website,
reporters,
Denise?
wordinblack.com.
Okay, I put that in there.
Yeah,
It is
wordinblack.com.
really, really cool. I remember when it came out, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow. Like you said, you don't usually see that type of collaboration, but
Oh
it
yeah.
is so. It's like it's almost like it's the H like headline news type of thing
Hmm.
from all around the country, from the all the publishers in there. Word and Black.
Right, right, right. So it's 10 of us, and
Is
paper
that
out
at
of,
wordandblack.com?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, that's
Mm-hmm.
it. So, we're very proud of being able to raise enough money. We set up a company, public benefit corporation, that we are all owners of, and so we share not only stories, we share resources. We're all on this digital transformation road together. We're all celebrating our anniversaries of different years. Like I said, we're the
Yeah.
youngest on the block,
Wow.
and it's been good. It's been a good collaboration, and we're really proud of what we've been able to
And
produce.
it's still going on. That was in 2020 when that happened. You got it up
Mhm.
and going in 2021, I believe it was, or
Right.
maybe towards the end of 2021. And then now it's still going and it's strong. It's picking up speed. One thing, to talk about the state of the Black press. Where would you see it going, say 60 years from now? If you can kind of look and see, okay, we're 60 years now, where you see it 60 years from today. What is the Black press doing? How has it evolved? Who's involved in it?
I see us on the same path. You mentioned something earlier when you talked about Chat GPT. When it comes to AI, I mean, we're really trying to figure out, we, at least I believe that we need to be in the AI um, arena,
Mm.
because it'll be like anything else. When people go there and ask questions, if Black content is not included, you will not get the Black story. We'll
Right.
be writing ourselves out of history. So
Mm,
we have to be there, but we're also trying to figure out, how do we protect, our content, from our stories to our photographs and all that.
hmm.
But
That's where the law school degree comes in handy.
yeah, yeah, we're also trying to figure that one out. But it's really hard to say. I mean, you figure the first newspaper was started in 1827. Radio came about, and people thought newspapers were going to disappear. Television came, people thought newspapers were going to disappear. The internet came, people thought newspapers were going to disappear.
They're
AI
always,
is here, people think newspapers are going to. Somebody has to continue to
yes.
write the stories
Hmm.
and tell the stories. Somebody has to do that. It cannot feed itself. It has to feed off of something.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I don't know what we will look like as an industry, but the storytellers are still going to be needed.
The storytellers. That's it. And the journalists. The journalists are, they can use different terms now: storytellers, content creators. Your
Exactly.
son is involved
All
in
of
that.
them.
Yeah,
Yes.
and your son is involved in the newspaper.
Yes. Yes. Well, both of them,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
to. So Lafayette, we spun off and gave birth to the bridge,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's his baby now,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that comes out once a month, in print and online. And then, my other son, who's more into the music area and becoming a little bit of an entrepreneur himself,
Okay,
um,
that's what they
you know,
do.
yes, works with us as far as our email newsletter and some of our digital needs.
Okay.
And now I even have my godson working with me. So
Oh, good. That is good. That's legacy. That's opening
yeah,
doors to your
yeah. People
legacy.
may know Marvin Sen, who is an artist, does art on leather.
Okay.
And so, yeah, he's been around for a long, long time. And so his son is working with us. So,
Oh, good. And communications is a thing. WIN, or Washington Informer News TV, I guess that's what it's called. Sharon said that she was on WIN TV with Betty Hines, and Betty's group is also an affiliate with Black Door Society as well. So those are
yeah,
some of the things that definitely we do. But I'm just so proud that you took the time on the official day of
yeah.
60 years. Of 60 years, Jeff Brooks said, he says, congratulations on 60 years. That is
Thanks,
it. And
Jeff. Yeah,
And
and
Jackie
Jackie.
Flowers as
Yeah,
well. So we got a lot of comments over here congratulating you. It's a big deal. It's a
yeah,
big deal. And we want to know how we can support you, we can go to WashingtonInformer.com, subscribe to WordInBlack.com, the also the Bridge, the Win TV. Any of these you makes it really, really simple. When you go to WashingtonInformer.com, you can definitely pitch if you have a good pitch for either the TV or for the newspaper, any
Exactly.
of those. And that's one of the main things. But the Word in Black you have to subscribe to. So people have to know that they can subscribe to that.
And
That's
it's
how.
free. Tell them it's free. But
Oh,
we
is it?
also, yeah, I mean, and we do Win Daily, which is our daily newsletter, which
Hmm.
is also free. But we are still, there's this new model now where people can donate to newspapers.
Yeah.
It's been hard for me to conceive of, but we're doing it. We're asking for that. But yeah, I mean, really, if you just go to the website, put in your email address, just feel like you've given us $100. That that makes me feel good. So
That is one of the things, like you said, sharing the content, sharing the
right,
stories. When you read the story, share it on LinkedIn, share it on Facebook, share it on
yes,
Twitter, or X or wherever you want to, on Threads. Those are the things too. Or if you really like it, do a screen grab of it and then put it on your Instagram, a different story, those kind of things. So those are the
hmm,
things that really help the legacy of the Black press to continue when we're sharing it to our ecosystems, to our tribe.
right,
So I
right,
want to make sure that you knew that we appreciated you, and that is one of the things. Always we always talk about people need to get out there and get known, but the first stop for all of us should be the ones that are in our community. Listen, I'm in Detroit. They have the Jewish News. The Jewish News is huge. It's like
hmm,
this thick,
oh yeah,
because they are thought or know that if they are a Jewish business, that they should run ads in the Jewish newspaper. And I'm
yeah,
telling you, every week it's this thick.
yeah,
So I want African American business owners to realize if you are a Black business, then you should support the Black press so that
right,
you could be
right.
as thick as that too. I mean, it seems like it would make sense, but not everybody thinks like that. We just have to keep preaching
Yeah,
it.
you just gave me a thought. I'm gonna think about that for a minute because what you said made a lot of sense, and I need to turn that into something
Yeah,
about, I mean, because the Jewish people are discriminated against as well, have
they are.
always been.
Yeah, they were
So
together
they
with us and the
understand the importance of
SCLC and NAACP and that kind of
right.
thing. They
They
they were
understand
part of
this.
that march.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they understand the importance of supporting each other,
Mhm.
and
It's part of their training. It's part of their
right,
it's of a culture. and and we're away from that because we're trying to assimilate sometimes so much
right,
away from our uh, to them that we then leave us. So it's not like we want segregation again, but we just have to remember that support is what we should do.
yeah,
We go out of our way to find with Speak Sell Shine, Black makeup artists, Black videographers, Black photographers, right, Jeff? We try Black facilities, supporting as much as we can. You know, uh, the person who did the transportation, yeah, you can call and get anybody's transportation, but we want to have an African American transportation company that shuttle people back around. That is how we keep recycling money within our community.
because
And
who do
that's
we
what,
hire? Who do we
yeah,
hire? Who
yeah.
are we creating jobs for?
Thank you. For ourselves, for
Right.
ourselves.
So that we
That
can
is
pay, so we can take care of pay our mortgages, send our kids to school, so our kids can grow up and become somebody and do the same thing all over
and do
again.
the same thing.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
legacy does. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're
yeah.
doing because your dad did it and now you're doing it and then your sons and godsons are in there and then they will hopefully do the same thing as well. And so 60
Exactly.
years from now, your great grandchildren says, yeah, that kind of thing. So that makes my heart so proud. It really does.
Well, we'll
The only other business that I know that kind of stays that legacy sometimes is like funeral homes
mhm.
because they're around for hundreds of years. So I know third generations of funeral homes that are that, but that's the only one that I kind of know of that
Well, I
doesn't.
mean, think about Black Enterprise.
Yeah, that's two
Right?
generations.
That's 2
Hmm.
generations,
Hmm.
I mean, we could go so I'll just announce this to you, and because you said you wanted to help, and I'll let you know that it took me a long time to figure out what are we going to do to celebrate this anniversary.
You
And I
know, I was
realized you
asking.
turn 60 and you have a whole year to be 60, right? So we have picked a date, March the 28th, 2025,
Okay.
and we're planning to do an event, and the focus is going to be on legacy.
Ah,
Yeah. So I'm looking. I'm looking for an event planner. I'm
okay.
looking for, whatever Dr. Pam Perry can offer in a line of publicity and media.
Yes,
You
we're
know,
there. Sharon will be there as well. I know one
okay,
immediately, Natalie Solomon, who is part of Black Door Society. She is fabulous. She's in the area. She could help you with all of the things that you need. A photographer, Jeff Brooks. I mean, I'm so glad. I'll be part of this committee to help get this together.
great.
So
Okay,
March
that works.
25th, 2025. And that's Women's History Month. So
March 28th. Yes, the
March
28th.
28th.
Yeah,
March
yeah,
28th, 2025.
yeah.
All right. All right. So that is Women's History Month as well. So you're making
I
history
didn't
again.
even think about that.
Yeah.
That works. You're trying to find hooks, and I
Yeah,
couldn't
that's good.
find one. I just picked a date that worked.
That is good. That's a good month. That's a good month. So that
Yeah,
definitely will
yeah,
work. So
yeah.
we will make sure that you get all the people that you need for that. I will definitely be there. Now you give me enough time to come from Detroit to come up there,
Okay.
and then that 60th anniversary is the thing. And speakers. I'm sure NNPA, Dr. Chavis, he would have been here, but he wanted me to tell you congratulations as well. And Hiram as well. Hiram's out the country. Dr. Chavis
Yeah,
not
yeah,
feeling well. So it was a lot of things going on. But
yeah. No problem.
definitely we have enough time for March 28th, 2025 for us to figure out what we're gonna
Right.
do.
No, I
Mhm.
figured out what I'm gonna do. I just need the team to help me to pull it together.
Okay. Well
I
then
think
that
it's I
then
think
that's
it's gonna be
you
nice.
got the vision and you got the people
It
that
took
can
me
help you
2
get the
years
vision.
to come up with the vision, but but I'm here.
I was on you. I was on you. I was like, "Okay, what we gonna do, Denise? What we gonna do?" So,
Oh,
yeah,
you
so
and 100
definitely
other people, I'm like, "I don't know," but I've got it
yeah.
now. I've got it.
Okay, good, good. Well,
Yeah,
I thank you
yeah.
so much. I want people to go to WashingtonInformer.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter, share the newsletter, forward it, and then also when you go on the site, there's a little share button to do that as well. So make sure you do it. So thank you so much, Denise, for joining us today. God
Man,
bless
thank
you.
you so much. I
Congratulations.
appreciate it. Okay, and good
All
luck
right,
to
take
you. And
things.
know that we're in this thing together.
Yes, we are. We are in this together. Black Press is here to stay, and I am stuck with you as well. All
Yeah.
right. All
All
right.
right.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. You too.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where we help you shine like a superstar.